She's a conservative and I'm liberal, and yet we've been friends for almost 40 years. People say that you shouldn't talk about politics, religion, or money. And we say that's exactly what friends should be talking about. Join us as we tackle the conversations you're having in your head, but are too scared to say out loud. Hello, Jolene.
Hello, Nicole.
How are you doing, Muffin?
That always sounds so sinister. Hello.
Hello.
Like, what was it from Seinfeld? Hello, Jerry. Or no, there was somebody. Hello.
Okay, I'm totally embarrassed that I've only seen clips of Seinfeld. I have never seen it. I know, it's crazy. I was in New York in the 90s and, you know, I should have, but I didn't. And everybody references Seinfeld and I...
Well, I will say I was not a big Seinfeld person. Like, I wouldn't watch it every week. Or I'm thinking it was on every week. Isn't that so funny? Like, to think about that
It
now.
was.
Like, we don't watch things like...
No, you either binge it or...
Right.
Or you watch it when you want to watch it.
Right.
Except those times that they are like, we're only dropping 3 episodes, and people are like, oh! And you're like, well, that's how it used to be. You just waited. And you might have been impatient, but you didn't know any different.
Right? God,
Right?
that's so weird.
Isn't that weird?
Does that make us sound old? Ugh.
Well, I'm not feeling old. Are you feeling old?
No, I feel better now. We should be doing our menopause
Yeah.
episode
Next time.
Yeah.
All right. Today, y'all, we're going to do something. It's an experiment. Let's call it shit that Jolene's thinking about. And maybe if it works, we will do what Nicole's thinking about. Because Jolene had several questions. She was like, let's talk about these things. Like, what did you call it? You didn't call it rapid fire, but you were like...
Peppered. I said,
peppered.
can I pepper each other with questions?
So you were talking about peppering questions, and it made me think, first of all, I didn't know how to prepare for that, which is kind of like life. And one of the things that we are trying to model and take on is having these really tough conversations where you don't necessarily have the answers. You also don't necessarily know what the questions are going to be. But we're in this society now where, like, I've got to, armor up and get ready to prove my side, right? Where
Yes.
But I don't feel that way. Like, there's been all of those feelings of like, what is she going to talk about? Oh, you know what? I'm just going to be curious and listen, because that's what we're trying to do. And hopefully, listener and viewer, that maybe you can learn from our mistakes.
Don't do what we do. No,
don't do what we do. But you know what I'm saying?
That's absolutely right. Because I don't want this. I also don't want these questions to be like gotcha questions. I don't want to be like, oh, aren't you happy that we don't have any more illegal immigrants? I mean, I don't want it to be. I want to genuinely know how you feel on these things because I think it's interesting. So if you ever feel like I'm asking you something that is a gotcha kind of question, or you're not comfortable answering, then ask me to rephrase the question.
I can do that. I can do that.
Or
All
say,
right, girl.
hell no, I'm not going to answer that. Shut your mouth. Okay, but do you have any for me, or is this just shit Jolene's thinking?
Because to be fair, there were 3 things that you brought up yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? You talked about the Autopen.
Yeah.
You talked about the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the third? I forgot. I mean, I know the third.
Well,
but
I'm going to ask you.
Okay, tell me. Or ask me.
Here we go. Do you think it's racist to be a patriot or to be patriotic?
No, I don't. And it's interesting because I have a good for the soul that I'll talk about right now, where this particular topic came up. So as the viewer knows and the listener knows, that I've been following James Tallarico for probably a year or so. And he is my other favorite Christian other than my friend Jolene. And in our wish list of future guests, he was right up in the top 3. So James Tallarico is a Texas state legislator. He is in the House, the Texas House State Legislature. Is that right? Yeah. And he is 36 years old. He's actually studying in the ministry right now.
Mm-hmm. He's in seminary.
Yes, he's in seminary. He was a middle school teacher in Texas and felt drawn to run for the state house. And he is in his 4th term in the state house. And one of the reasons he wanted to go into the seminary was that he wanted to be able to say what he meant and meant what he said, which I love. He works very well with state Republicans, not just because he has to, but because he wants to. Mm-hmm. And when someone uses scripture, he will very gently and respectfully have dialogue as to, hold on a second. Mm-hmm. And he knows what he's talking about. All to say that my good for the soul that I'm saying at the very beginning of the podcast is that he is now famous because he went on Joe Rogan. And he was on Joe Rogan last week, the Joe Rogan Experience. My very first, I listened to the entire 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
It took a couple of days, but I highly recommend it. It just was so cool. I was so happy for James, and I was so happy for Joe Rogan. A friend of his had sent him an Instagram post, Joe Rogan, and said, you got to look at this guy. And it was a Instagram post in regards to the 10 Commandments being put in the classroom. And Joe Rogan was very curious about this guy and had James on. When it was, I guess when he got the email, he thought it was spam and then found that it was real. And just like the rest of us, when something wild like that happens. Anyway, the long and the short of it, that came up about patriotism and racism. I encourage you all to listen to the podcast for many, many reasons, to learn about speaking to each other with kindness and learning to work together. And for those of you that are Christian, to think about how Christianity can be used in a good way. And he talked about how it has become synonymous, and it's unfortunate. And I can say that I have felt over the last, I guess, from Trump term 1, that all of a sudden the flag, the American flag, I'm just going to speak for me. I felt embarrassed, ashamed, scared, like it wasn't mine anymore. It felt like a loss. I never really thought of it before until, I guess, Trump term 1 came in and there were some ugliness that I didn't agree with. And Trump would sort of take over the flag and then he had his own flags. And it just felt, we talked about the Patriot Day and all of that, that there were situations after January 6th where I felt scared and aggressiveness from that. I do feel it turning, Jolene. I do feel like, for instance, I have neighbors who are now making a conscious decision, and they're raging liberals, as I like to call them, and they are embracing that flag and flying that flag, meaning the American flag. So that it's like, hold on a second. I have put this on it, and the media that I consume has put this on it. So I don't think being patriotic means being racist at all. A Confederate flag, different story.
Yeah, right. So when you hear Bruce Springsteen, disparage when he goes to Europe and says, like, I'm not proud to be an American anymore. I mean, when you have people leaving the country, like the whole Rosie O'Donnell thing and all that, like people leaving the country because they don't agree with Trump being president, does that make you angry?
I mean, it's a personal experience. I think when Trump is elected, a lot of people are like, I'm leaving. And then they don't.
Yeah.
Then some that do. And if some that do, okay, good for you. Or I guess you got to post it. I don't know. I mean, no dissing to them, but I think it takes more courage if you don't feel represented, that you stay here and do the work to get represented.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What is it?
Okay.
How do you feel about it?
I love being patriotic. Lee Greenwood makes me cry every time I hear his song, and so, but it makes me very sad to think that people reserve that for Republicans, or maybe it's even whichever party is holding the White House. I mean,
Joe, I think when we were kids, no way.
Right.
Do you remember
absolutely.
remember the bicentennial? Do you remember talk about being
yes.
old? Do you remember celebrating the bicentennial?
My grandma made me an outfit, and we had the bonnet and the whole
I remember so distinctly getting my dad got crepe paper streamers and decorating my bike and being in the parade and going down to the park and they had this gazebo with those old-timey flags that are sort of round. I don't know what they're called. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And then they had a band play, and I was 6 years old, and I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever. It was just a different time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We talked about this before. Like, I know you love your Newt, but that was a big deal when Congress stopped living together. And what's interesting about this James Tallarico Joe Rogan episode is that everybody, and he acknowledges, like, everybody still lives in Austin and they work together and they
have dinner together.
Exactly. And they play together. And of course people are like, James, run for national office. And I'm thinking, cool, but the system has to change in Washington. Yeah. Like it has become the us against them versus like the Republicans get to be patriotic and the Democrats. I think it's changing.
To go back the other way, you're saying it's changing now that everybody can be patriotic.
I think the liberals, the Democrats are starting to be like, wait a second. Because I do think, we Democrats, we have to get our shit together. It's always been about like fighting against instead of fighting for. That's how it's felt like in the last couple terms as Democrats, where it's like, well, what do we want?
Yeah.
Stop saying what you don't want. That doesn't work in life. It's so negative. It's so boring. Like, what do you want?
Yep.
And I think people are realizing, wow, we just give the Republicans so much power. And one of the things is, what is the meaning of the flag?
Yep. I did not agree with, he was citing some biblical verses to justify his pro-abortion stance, and I didn't agree with that. And really, even listening to the way that he was interpreting some of the passages, I think you can look at them two different ways. And, he even talked about that too,
Yeah.
I mean,
that it's always in the interpretation.
Yes, right.
Absolutely.
So, interesting. Okay, next one. The Biden Autopen. They're making such a big deal out of this. I mean, I feel like it's...
What do you feel
what we've
about
already...
why don't you start? What do you feel about it?
Isn't it what we've already talked about? Like, okay, he was not running his own show at the end, and whether the end means the last couple of weeks or the last couple of months or the last 2 years, we're not really sure. If there was someone who was just signing these declarations, and whether they were executive orders or the commuting the sentences, or initiating funding some of these green energy initiatives that I think we talked about, that Stacey Abrams, all of a sudden he kind of had this crony group that all of a sudden got all this money that was called a green energy initiative, and it really was kind of a bogus deal. I think it's legit to think that somebody's got the stamp with his signature on it, and they were running stuff through that he had no idea about. I think that's a legit, like that could have actually happened. Do you?
I mean, yeah. I'm at the point where I'm like, so, in terms of the Autopen, only because I honestly didn't know anything about the Autopen. I'm learning all this because of the podcast, really. And I guess the Autopen they started using it in the 40s, I think. And the first time they used it for signing legislature was in Obama's term. And in terms of the Autopen, to me, as you just said, it's a bigger issue. And we did an episode on, what happened, who was really running the country. We already did a Biden episode about this, where, to me, that's the bigger issue than the fucking Autopen. Sorry, Linda. Like, I'm just like, who cares about the Autopen? Like, yeah, I just kind of can't believe people aren't more upset about. It's like there's just too much, and that people have just moved on. I'm like, listen, the guy had so much ego. He never should have run the second time. That's my opinion. And I don't understand why he did. I don't understand why his family didn't say, hey, Joe, time to stop, like in a very loving way. I don't get it. And so it was very clear that, at least, like you said, the last 2 weeks, the last 2 months, the last 2 years, from that debate, as we talked about in several episodes, that was horrifying. And the poor man was struggling, and they just pushed him out there. So if we talk about the Autopen, okay, duh. Like, and
of course that was happening.
That's sort of part of the deal.
Right.
Is probably, and the fact that this poor man is going, no, I'm just like, okay.
Wait, have you seen the latest, this Hunter Biden interview?
No.
Oh.
Okay, is this on Fox? Because I have not even heard about Hunter Biden.
Oh my gosh, it was the lead story on America's Newsroom this morning. It was the lead story. It's this horrible interview, and I don't even know. I think it was an interview that he did with a YouTuber or something that was just released yesterday.
My sources have not reported on it today. Maybe they will tomorrow. So tell me about it.
All I know is they were showing clips of it, and he is dropping F-bomb after F-bomb after F-bomb. I mean, even you, I think, would be a little embarrassed by the amount of F-bombs. I mean, and he's just going after everybody. He's going after George Clooney. He's going after the media. He's going after, he is unhinged.
So he's angry about what?
He's angry at the way that his father has been treated, and he still stands by the story that his dad could have won. He should be the president right now, and that he was, they screwed him. It's almost the same thing, like as you're watching Biden in the debate, and you're like, oh, this is not good. Yeah. This is sad. Yeah. You're watching this interview going, who allowed him to do this interview and why? And somebody, don't let him do this anymore. It was horrible. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
How do you feel about the student loan forgiveness programs?
Oh, gosh. I didn't think we'd be talking about this. I'm all ready to talk about Epstein.
That one's next.
Okay. How do I feel about the student loan forgiveness? I just think it's so fucked up. I think it's crazy that college costs so much. I will agree with Joe Rogan and his take, which was that, you're preying on these very young people, 18-year-olds, whose frontal lobe is not developed yet and is thinking that, oh, yeah, I can handle it. And then cut to their Social Security checks are coming in and they're getting docked for their student loan that they will never pay because the compound interest is so bad. And I'm going to, again, take Joe Rogan's word. It's gross. It's really gross. I feel like, how the hell are people supposed to get ahead? Or how are we supposed to stop the madness and do it differently? What are your thoughts about it? I'm guessing that you...
Well, you and I went to the University of Iowa because my parents weren't going to pay for a private education. My parents said...
I was out of state,
you paid
girl.
Out of state. Did you have any scholarships or anything with the theater department? Oh, really?
I didn't. My timing was on my side. My grandfather had passed away. I think a couple years before I went to college, and gave my dad some money for me for college, and that paid for college. I am so grateful that I didn't have student debt. It is, and yes, we did, we were in those positions, but college was not nearly as expensive as it is now.
Right.
I wanted to stop the madness. I don't know how you do it, but this is crazy time. And then these degrees are not even giving kids a way to
Well, I think that was
work.
That was also part of the deal for me going to college. My parents said 4 years and out. If it takes you more than 4 years, you have to get a student loan or you have to pay for it yourself.
Mine too.
And that's why I took 28 hours my last semester.
You did?
God, you remember that?
Took how could
20,
you do that?
Because so we didn't have online classes.
We are so opposite. I took classes junior summer so that I would have a light senior year.
Oh, I took summer classes as well. I dropped a lot of classes. I was drinking and partying and being stupid. That's what I was doing, and I wasn't going to class.
28 hours? That's crazy.
So I was home at Thanksgiving my senior year. We had already picked our classes for next semester, and I had said, my dad said, so we're getting ready the last semester, right? And I go, yeah, about that. I'm ready. I'm going to have to go in the summer, and then one more semester. I'll graduate in December. And he goes, oh, wow. So have you looked into a loan, or how are you going to do that? And I go, no, really? Like, no, and he's like, no, the deal's for and out. That's the deal. And I was so mad at him that as soon as Thanksgiving break was over, I went to my advisor and I go, how many hours do I need? And he goes, 28. And I go, how do I get them? And he goes, well, you can't do them. And I go, yeah, I can. How do I do it? And he was like, well, all right, let's take a look at it. And so I had 18 hours that I took, classes, real classes that I took. We didn't have online classes then.
No, of course
but we had correspondence courses. So I took a Vietnam War class and a calligraphy class that were each 3 hours a piece.
Okay.
So there were 6 hours that were correspondence classes. Then I took, do you remember the PE classes that you could go to Baraboo, Wisconsin for a weekend?
No.
We could do rock climbing and cross-country skiing.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It was fantastic, but you could do it on a weekend. And you could get a 1 credit hour for just going on the weekend.
That's
so
amazing.
I did that. So that's 6, 7, 8. And then, God, what was the other? There was something else that I had to do for a 2-hour class that I got. So I literally...
You must have been exhausted.
Honestly, it was just about, like I was busy every minute of the day.
Yeah,
and I had it all planned out and I knew exactly what I needed to do. And so got her done. I know. Anyway...
So the threat of no, you don't really, because the threat of having to take out a loan made you were like, I got to get my shit together now.
Exactly.
Right.
And we also talked about this, like if I really wanted to, I really would have loved to have majored in theater. But my dad was like, nope, you got to get a job. So no, you can go
We would have had so much fun together.
Oh my God.
Doing scene study class and
would I have been the only conservative in the theater program?
Probably.
I could have been the token conservative.
You weren't even that conservative, girl.
Yeah. Oh no, that's true. That is true. See, I would have fit right in.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so my whole point to this little
tell me.
tirade is that yes, I think that those people that are choosing to go to private institutions and paying $70,000, $80,000 a year, if they don't have the means to do it, then maybe they should look at other options that are more affordable. And why are you majoring in something that is probably not going to pay that bill either? I mean, that's where I'm going to push back.
Okay. That's where I'm going to push back because I think a liberal arts education is an amazing experience where you can really learn how to think critically, how to communicate, how to be around people that are not like you. I loved studying different things that just interested me. I studied, actually a lot. We talked about this Judeo-Christian tradition classes. I took French. I took dance. I took all.
But you
those
can
things.
take all those things and still get a major in accounting or
I don't know if that's true. But we need artists.
I agree.
Right?
Absolutely.
We need artists. I mean, I do think we need to focus as a society. I think we need to focus more back on training programs, on giving people skills, right?
Yep.
That that the university route is not the only way.
That's not for everybody.
Right? It's not for everyone. You not going to college doesn't mean you're a loser. If you go to college, you're going to college because you want to go to college. I had friends when I would go when I was at university, you could tell certain people didn't want to be there. It doesn't work. And it doesn't need to. And
Right.
we're in this society where we've put college education at the top, and you're a loser if you don't go to college, which is not true.
And
It's
that's all
not true.
changing now with AI. You look at the jobs that AI is taking over, and whether it's, business and writing and marketing and all these things that we could rely on AI for. You're not going to get AI to take over fixing my car and fixing my air conditioning.
Where did the trades go? Being a plumber, being an electrician, being a carpenter, those are real skills that we're not training people. Learning how to be an air traffic controller. It takes years. We have a huge deficit of air traffic controllers, which it's a huge safety issue. Why aren't we pushing people into other different avenues and celebrating it? I'm
100%.
I absolutely agree with you. And there's another part of society which I think we could all work on. And it's a very elitist, and I think there are elitist Republicans and elitist Democrats both, where there is a pressure. I must go to said private school that I can't afford. And if I don't go, I have failed. I am not enough. I agree with you, Jolene. If you don't have the scholarship, if you can't pay it, there's a lot of great colleges you don't. But I am sure that there is societal noise, parental noise. Mm-hmm. From the time I was born, I'm supposed to go to Harvard. By the time I was born, I'm supposed to go to Stanford. Whatever it is, what an incredible thing to just take that away.
Okay, but I think that's really, you talk about the one percenters. That's probably the one percenters, right? That's
I don't know. I don't know, Jolene, because I think when you said that there's going to be people that private school loans.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that there are some kids out there that maybe got a partial scholarship. Yeah. And they have societal pressure to go to said private school.
Yeah.
And they're okay, I want to be able to tell everyone that I went to this school.
Yeah.
Because the one percenters can afford college.
Right.
Or what are they called? The super class? They can buy the college. Those aren't the people that are taking out loans. Do you think we should have these kids or kids and adults should have some respite, or do you think
the student loan forgiveness program?
Yeah,
I think is really messed up, because what happens to the Leland van der Lindens of the world who worked his whole life so that he could afford to send his daughter to a 4-year public school, but somebody over here got student loans and then it all got forgiven, and you're how is that fair to Leland van der Linden?
How do we fix it otherwise? Life isn't fair, number one. Number two, it's gotten so out of control that my feeling is just we got to stop the madness and let people catch up. How do we do this then?
I think that's really idealistic, and it's not practical. Let's stop the drip, first of all. Let's stop it at its source first. So let's not have, if you can't afford.
But don't you think it's a business, Jolene? These people that are doing the lending, they're how do you, that to me is where right? That's where it needs to be cut off.
Okay,
right?
but who's asking for the loan? Why are you asking for an $80,000 a year loan, knowing that you're majoring in women's studies?
But what does that matter, what someone's studying?
In my mind, if my kid was going to college, I would say, well, if you're going to be a doctor, great. I know that the chances of you being able to afford to pay off your student loans in
most doctors
15
these
years
days are struggling as well, right? But don't you think it's twofold or two-pronged, where, okay, yes, you want to get the kids to stop taking loans that they can't pay. Totally get it. But also, we have to stop the loan sharks from pushing them.
Well, and by loan sharks, do you mean the universities? I mean, why are the universities charging $80,000?
I don't listen
for
I
an
don't
education
know.
That.
I agree with you. And having had a kid go through this, and a niece that is about to go, and you've gone through it too. I was shocked because did your girls apply to anywhere other than Arkansas?
Yeah.
Okay. What I was shocked by, both Tessa and Jax were good students. Mm-hmm. And when Jackson applied to said schools, we just sort of braced. And not knowing that the price is so ballooned that if you have any sort of good grades, or if there's something about you, whatever it is, they're like, we want you. All of a sudden, they give you all this scholarship. And I'm like, what? When we were coming up, it was either you got a scholarship from Need, or you got a scholarship from, you applied for said scholarship and you were an incredible artist or had a valedictorian. It wasn't just like, hey, we want you, we're going to lower the price, or we're going to give you, $38,000 towards your $80,000 school. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why don't you just lower the price?
Because they've got the Chinese national students that will pay, the government of China will pay full tuition for their students to come to Harvard.
It's not just the Chinese, the international students.
Right. Okay. So I think, so I'm with you. I think that the whole student loan thing needs to be, but I just don't think it's fair. And I don't think that it's right that you have a student loan forgiveness program that doesn't benefit everyone.
I totally understand why you don't think it's fair. I wish I had a creative answer to help solve it, because I truly think that this forgiveness program is what they're thinking the solution is. That they can't come up with another solution. I wish that I could be like, hey, you guys, how about this idea? I think, too, that people, they come up with these blanket solutions and then that's it. And no one says, hey, well, let me add on to this, or this is not quite what I'm thinking. I mean, wouldn't it be cool for it to be a bipartisan solution where, hey, this isn't quite right. Let's tweak this. What if we added this? And to really solve it versus...
That would be cool.
Are you teasing me?
I'm not. Well, of course. I mean, of course that's what we all want, right?
Right. But it feels like sometimes that it's like, this is what we're going to do. And that's a very broad thing. We're just going to forgive. Yeah. And the liberals like that. And I understand why the conservatives don't. Yeah. And I agree. It isn't quite fair that well, what about the last, I don't know, whatever it is, 70 years of education? Why weren't they forgiven? Yeah. Well, but the problem is just such a mess. What do we do?
Okay. Anyway. Here's your next one.
Okay.
Epstein files.
Oh, dude. Listen, I can't tell. I'm just going to say this, Joe. The liberal media, I can't get away from the Epstein thing.
It's everywhere. It's not just liberal. It's
I wondered about that because, and it's fascinating because, a couple things are fascinating. The MAGA movement, from what I can tell, is really pissed off. And then all of a sudden Trump was like, it's the Democrats' fault. I'm like, wait a minute. Well, this has nothing to do. What? What? I would love, honestly, Jolene, to hear what you think about all of this. I would love it. And what you know from what you hear in your media and all of that.
Honestly, I have not gotten into this. So I'm only telling you what I've either seen through scrolling or headlines or something.
Right.
But my gut. So I'm just speaking from my gut here.
Well, the conspiracy theorist that you are.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. 100%. I think there is a list of people, of his clients, of Epstein's clients, and maybe there's pictures, maybe there's receipts, whatever. And that Trump decided, because everybody was talking about it, right? Pam Bondi was talking about it, and everybody was like, yep, it's sitting on my desk, and I'm just waiting, like, I got to get through it. And then all of a sudden there was no list. And so I think what's happened is Trump goes, wait a second, I could use this to get whatever I want now. I mean, he'll hold this.
Hold on. This is I've never heard this theory.
Good.
I've been devouring this stuff for a week. Not because I want to, because everyone, like Ezra Klein, The Daily, Tangle, everyone is talking about Epstein, and not one person has said
this. Okay, so I haven't gotten this from anywhere. I'm just saying, if I think it would be really...
How would he use it? I don't understand. How would he use it?
So if there's something on there that says that Schumer was going to these parties or something, then he would say, hey, Schumer, I really need this passed. And if you don't, I'm going to release the list. And hey, you actor, you athlete, you singer, you whoever it is, political figure.
But what about him?
He is now got, and maybe he's on there too. I mean, he could very well be on there.
I mean, that's been the overwhelming, I think, consensus that he is going to be on it.
Don't you think, though, that if he was on it, that the people who have seen it up to this point would have leaked that? I mean, come on, they leak. There's leaks all over.
I mean, I honestly don't know if there's a list per se. There's records of like flights. There's records of phone calls. There's records of things like that. And maybe it's embarrassing to Trump. Probably. It's going to be embarrassing to a lot of people. Maybe humiliating. And what I found fascinating is like the MAGA movement has been so loyal. I mean, like, he can kind of do no wrong. And he also, won their trust by saying that he was going to be transparent. And now he's not, or they're like, nothing to see here. And there's this backlash of like, wait, are you just like them? What do you mean there's nothing to see here?
Because I think that there could be people inside the MAGA facet of the party who are on this list. And he's just, I mean, knowledge is power. And if he has got, and there's no one who loves power more than Trump, and if he's got this list, or if he's got, like you said, he's got evidence of all of these people, he's just keeping it close to the vest, and he will use it when he needs to. Oh my gosh.
So fascinating. I felt like so prepared for the Epstein thing, and now I'm just like...
I've thrown you.
You've totally thrown me, because I don't even know how to wrap my brain around this. Like, but you are right that... You remember when I said I was going to give Trump credit when he is a master game player.
I agree.
He knows how to read people. He knows how to charm people. He knows how to bite. It's shocking. I don't want the Democrats to learn from it, but they really could. He's a master at this stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's also funny and
good looking. Oh my God, do you have a crush on Trump?
No. I did not say that. But like, also he's bananas. Like, he'll say stuff and you're like, what? And I think he's always just like 5 steps ahead usually, you know? So.
Well, and I think that the thing that you and I have learned too, doing all this, is that what you think the story is not really the story. And what he wants you to look at isn't what we should be looking at.
Exactly. And I think you are correct that he's playing with something there. I think that's totally makes sense, because he has said to his supporters, you wonder what goes on in those places, the Epsteins, that like, you don't even know the half of it. Mm-hmm. So he has built this story or shared with them, and now he's not willing to share it. And that's really
Yeah.
pissing people off.
Yeah.
I'm thrown by your answer because I think it would
I'm
be
so
helpful.
glad.
You are?
Yes. Because I came up with it. It's not something I read, or it's not something, it's just, maybe it's my devious conspiratorial mind that came up with.
It's absolutely your devious conspiratorial mind. I personally just release whatever you have. And if you have nothing, release it. Release the nothing. Because this
that's
is
too easy. No, there's no fun in that. Okay, here's the next one. What is the most important issue to the Democrats right now?
I think this is the problem. There isn't one. It's always about reacting to what Trump said, reacting to that bill, reacting to, I don't feel like we actually have an issue that we're like, this is what we're about. Bernie's about, universal health care, but not every Democrat is. People were very upset about public funding being cut for PBS and NPR, but that's a reaction to. It's not a let me stand up for what I believe. And that's a fantastic question, Jolene, and I don't have an answer for you. And I think if I did have an answer, we would start winning.
God. I mean, you could be right.
Because when we, it's when we're just reacting, there's no power in that.
Yeah.
It takes courage, it takes belief, it takes drive, it takes faith to believe in something and send that message out. And don't stop. Don't worry about what Trump says. Don't worry about what Mike Johnson says. Don't worry. Just keep moving forward.
So the most important issue to the Democrats right now is that you don't have an issue. Okay, here's the last one. Okay. What's one bipartisan deal that you would like to see pushed through right now?
Affordable health care and prescription drugs.
Oh, that's a good one. God,
that's what I want.
That's what I want. That would be such an easy. I feel like the whole prescription drugs thing, everybody can get behind.
And to add that, I mean, this is a big overhaul, but changing the medical system so that it's not in bed with pharma. And we talked about this in the big food episode that we did, like doing an overhaul of the healthcare system so that we are looking to actually make each other well.
Yeah.
To make each other healthy. And I'm not talking about the MAHA movement. I mean something where it's like where you go to the doctor and you're like, I'm not feeling well, and here is a drug. Let's revamp this system. I'm not saying that you don't need a drug, but it's just sort of insane. I see it all the time caring for my dad and everything that he's gone through. And the dismissiveness of being an older person makes me mad, and it's maddening, and it's upsetting, and I can't believe, and older people tend to look up to the doctors and don't question, and you need your family to advocate because they will do everything they can to just throw a bunch of drugs at you. That's what I would love, a bipartisan coalition of people that would help overhaul the healthcare system so that if you're sick, you can get care. If you need some medicine, that you can afford it, and that you aren't being pushed drugs you don't need. As
a doctor, you're not getting the fear of getting sued for everything that you do.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And encouraging people to go through the medical system because there's a new way to do it, and it's exciting and inspiring.
So when you say I'm not talking about Maha, but isn't that what he is trying to do? Isn't that what Kennedy is trying to do?
I honestly feel I feel like he has an ulterior motive too. I don't know enough about it. I know that there's so much bureaucracy. I guess when I say not the Maha movement, I don't want my idea to be put in a label. I want something fresh. I want something that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah.
Where Republicans and Democrats can come together and really look at the problems.
Yeah.
So that CEOs aren't shot on the streets of Manhattan,
Wow. Yeah.
right? I mean, that's
And
the
that there are
healthcare system
people
is
that think
broken.
that it's okay. That's the most alarming thing, was not that
Well,
it
it's just-
happened, but that people are behind him.
I think it's both, Jolene. I think society we're in, and it's just silly, and social media, and
Yeah.
it's nuts. We're glamorizing violence. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I had for you.
So, thank you for another episode of shit that Jolene wants to talk about.
I think we need to do shit that Nicole wants to talk about.
I think we do too.
Okay.
I think we do too.
Okay.
All right.
This is a segment we like to call Would You Rather?
Would you rather buy 10 things you don't need every time you go to the store, or always forget the one thing that you need when you go to the store?
I would rather buy 10 things I don't need. Oh my God. I can't. I mean, my memory is so bad anymore. And if I don't write it down, even if it's 4 things, I'm like, but why did I come to the store? Like, there was one thing that I needed. Like, I came because I needed eggs, but I got everything
And now
else for the quiche.
I've been to your store. I've been to your store.
We almost got kicked out. Sorry.
Yes.
There's no filming allowed in the store.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What? It's for the protection of our patrons. What?
I'm like,
because there's so
hey,
many
it's a supermarket.
in the witness.
No one's in the aisle.
It's because they're part of the witness protection plan here in.
That frozen food aisle we've got to protect.
You just never know.
Anyway. All right.
Okay, so I asked my daughter Patsy,
Go for it, girl.
would you rather never drink coffee again or have to read political opinion articles before every sip?
Patsy, that's what I do. That's what I do. I am never giving up my coffee. I did for a year to see if I could do it. And it wasn't that painful, honestly. But then I remember being at my brother's house in California, and they make such delicious coffee. Thank you, Gwen and Tyler. You make such delicious coffee. And I smelled it, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready. And I had that first cup, and holy moly, was I flying around the house. I was like, wow. Yeah, I love my coffee, and I love my political opinions. So that one's easy.
Okay.
I would be so well read. I would be so...
I mean, before every sip,
in my
though?
opinions. I mean, the coffee would be cold by the time if I had to read an article before every sip.
Do you have an Ember? Did I show you
that?
my Ember cup?
What's that?
It's a coffee cup that sits on a base, and so it charges it, and it keeps your coffee at a steady temperature the entire time. It's
I don't have that.
brilliant.
Huh. Interesting.
Interesting.
What's it called?
Ember. EMBER. You can get them at Starbucks.
Did you get it from...
But I think you can get it anywhere now.
Oh.
I got Jeff one years ago from Starbucks, but I think, and then he just now got me one, I think this last year.
I would imagine they have a website that we could put in our show notes, too.
And we should.
So other people could have
So that you
warm
too.
coffee.
You can have coffee, and you get to set the temperature. So if you want it if you like to drink your
that's
coffee
nice.
at 148 degrees, it is always 148 degrees. Every sip you
Wow.
take, and then you just put it back
It's
in the
not
base.
it's not overcooked? It's not overcooked?
No, because it doesn't. It maintains the temperature, so it doesn't
Okay.
make it hotter.
Interesting. Okay. Good to know.
Maybe
We just gave a plug for this cup that I've never heard of.
Ember, if you would like to send Nicole a cup, you may do it. Her address is.
Yes. All right, my friend. Thank you for this.
This was fun.
It was fun. And we will do it again. Thank you guys for
Yes.
listening, watching, and please press that subscribe button on our YouTube page, and please press the thumbs up, kicking that algorithm in. We really appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Really, really, really.
Thanks.
We understand that sometimes we piss you off, and we appreciate that you still tune in every week and come on this ride with us.
Yeah.
We understand that this is not an easy ask, and hopefully we bring some joy into your life every week.
Oh, that's so
Anyway.
sweet. I love that.
It's true.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
I'll see you on the other side. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
We've Got to Talk is produced across the world by the wildly talented, creative, and hilarious team at Bambi Media. Our theme song is Jump Jive Swing by Space Train Unlimited. Thank you so much for listening, and join us every week for another episode of We've Got to Talk.